Back in Helsinki, Finland, where the best in the world have come to skate this week at the 1999 World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. Welcome inside Hartwall Arena once again, everybody. I'm Terry Gannon. Our coverage of the ladies' short program is about to begin. We'll continue with that coverage over on ABC Sports tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 2:30 Eastern Time. Also have the pairs free skate then as well. And then in prime time at 8 o'clock on ABC Sports, Michelle Kwan goes after title number 3. And we'll have the finals of the ice dancing competition. But the ladies about to take the ice for their short program, and we welcome in once again Peggy Fleming. Michelle Kwan, the top story here. There's no question she's the odds-on favorite. She was as she took the ice the other day for her qualifying round. But not only having to battle that pressure, but also another physical obstacle.
Oh, that's right, Terry. Michelle came here fighting a pretty bad cold, and during the qualifying, she wasn't too inspired, but she did get the job done. She looked strong, she looked confident, but she also looked a little bit sleepy. Maybe because she was still suffering from a stuffy head, and she had slept in 90 minutes before her performance. That would have scared me to death. And Dick, you know, competition today is a lot tougher than it used to be.
Well, you know, these skaters come here, and whereas they used to have to do 2 performances, now they find that they have to do 3. And the most difficult one, the free skate program, is the first thing they do as well as the last. And not only that, it counts now for part of the score. So that puts extraordinary pressure on them and really is a very debilitating week that they have to spend here.
So extra pressure, physical pressure of competing 3 times. And for Michelle Kwan, she was battling a virus as she took the ice earlier this week for her qualifying performance. Let's take you back and take a look at that right now.
Michelle Kwan, USA.
So Michelle Kwan begins her quest for a 3rd world title in the qualifying round worth 20% of the overall score.
The music, Lamente Darien by Jules Massenet.
And there is a hush in this crowd. She takes real command of this ice. And her opening jump is a combination triple Lutz, double toe. Very solid, not real high, but very solid.
Very tentative move. And this, a Charlotte spiral. Charlotte Ohlschlager, the early German star of the 1910, 15, and 20 years.
Up is a triple combination she has planned. Let's see if she'll do this. Triple toe, double toe.
And by the way, this is her free skate. The skater's having to compete in 3 portions of the competition, which count now. That's a new rule this year.
Combination will have to become a triple if she is going to stay abreast of the advance of triple jumps. She's playing it very much safer in this performance because this is a qualifying round and of less value from a marking point of view.
It is worth 20% of the total score. This year, the first time that is being done. And of course, this is her long program that she'll use in the free skate.
Nice triple flip. Effortless.
Skating very conservatively. All the moves are beautifully spaced in this program. One move flows into the next. But she is not expending an excessive amount of energy because this is the easier, supposedly the easier part of the total competition.
And she has been suffering from a cold, been a little congested here. She's now on antibiotics and feeling a little better. So that might have some effect on her stamina. You can't breathe quite as well. Be a triple Lutz, ended up being a double. She gives such emotion and expression to this music. She's just wonderful. Final triple toe. Enjoy watching her anytime. It's just great.
This was a very solid performance. She did not pull out all the stops, and rightfully so at this stage of the competition, and considering the fact that she's had a cold.
But I think she got the job done.
The purpose of this round was to qualify. It also counts for points.
She hasn't competed in 6 weeks. That might be her biggest challenge. Michelle, you've won everything since the Olympics. How dominant do you feel?
Well, I never think about being dominant. You know, I go out there every time just going for it and not worrying about anything else.
You're feeling a little under the weather. I can hear a sniffle.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. I started my antibiotics and my body's a little weak right now, but hopefully by the time I compete the short program, I'll feel pretty good.
How do you feel about this whole event? You have to put together 3 really strong programs. Do you think you should have to qualify?
Well, I think it's fair for everybody if, you know, everybody has to do a long, short, and a long, but it gets a little bit old after a while. It's like, another program? What? What do you want me to do? But, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
What about for you, 7 years at this level? Which is it harder, mentally or physically?
Definitely mentally. You know, my body's ready. I can do a triple Lutz, you know, in my sleep, but it's just being able to focus on doing it when the time comes.
Well, cold or no cold, you look ready. Thanks, Michelle. Back to you, Terry.
Okay, Leslie, thank you. Coming up next, the ladies' short program as we continue from the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard in a moment. Back in Helsinki, Finland, where the best in the world have come to skate this week at the 1999 World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. And here's a look at the 8 required elements for the ladies in this short program. If you fail to perform any of these, of course, points are deducted. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in length, and the short program worth 30% of the overall score.
Seuraavana on the ice, Angela Nikodinov, Yhdysvallat, the United States.
Well, here is the bronze medalist from the U.S. National Championships. 18 years of age from San Pedro, California, Angela Nikodinov.
This young lady has a lot of natural talent. Beautiful jumps. She's working on her artistry. And she's opening with a triple Lutz double toe combination. Very solid. Good beginning.
That is her exquisite trademark. A superb layback position, one that is exceedingly rare.
And coming up, triple flip, one of the more difficult triple jumps. she singled it. That's going to cost her a lot here in this short program.
This short program, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, worth 30% of the overall score. Angela's first trip to the Senior World Championship, she did not have much fun in the qualifying round. She placed 9th in her group.
She's a very traditional skater, exceedingly powerful, with a very, very strong technique. Her positions are right. But you can see the difference between this forward inside spiral and that of Michelle Kwan.
And these are the elements that she needs to work on if she's ever to be up in that upper range of world-class skaters. Her final combination spin. That beautiful layback position. Good turnout in the foot. Well, I think that was respectable, but I think a little disappointing, too.
She's a very steady skater, but she lacks a certain amount of flair or excitement. You have to come to that excitement through the perfection of her technique, which is not quite there yet, but is certainly on a very good path.
But a better experience than she had in the qualifying round. At least she was much cleaner than she was then.
Well, the way these events are structured right now, you have no choice. I mean, you have to do it when it's called for. Look at the speed and the distance that she gets on that double axel.
Well, there's Richard Callahan, Angela's coach for the time being. He told Leslie Visser that temporarily coaching Angela during the World Championships during this time. But, of course, Richard announcing his retirement from the sport the other day.
Well, she learned most of her technique from Peter Oppegaard in California at the Ice Castle.
Two sets of marks
skating ring
out in California, exactly. Two sets of marks now, Dick. Required elements and presentation. The first set, 4.6 to 5.0.
Perfectly respectable.
5.2,
And now for presentation, 4.8 to 5.4 for Angela Nikodinov, the 18-year-old from San Pedro, California.
And those reflect a pretty good mark for her style and her position.
We'll return to Helsinki, Finland with more of the ladies' short program in a moment. Ice now here in the ladies' short program. 19-year-old Lucinda Ruh of Switzerland. If you like to watch spins, don't go anywhere.
Music, Lawrence of Arabia. And she is probably the finest spinner I have ever seen. This short program will not showcase her spins as much as the long program will. But you'll get an idea. She also has extraordinarily good positions. Her back is marvelous. This triple double. Well, that was good. She got through that. She's had a lot of trouble with some of her triples. But look here. Now look at the position, the back. The fact that she just maintains her speed.
Very unusual arms, too. Very effective.
Lucinda Ruh, born in Zurich, moved to Tokyo, Paris, San Francisco, spent time in China. Well-traveled, world-class cities.
A marvelous sense of style and position. She has flair. You can see that she enjoys skating. The problem she has had is that her triple jumps have not stood her in good stead. Here's a triple loop. Looked like there was a little cheat at the end, but at least she stood up on it, and that's what she has to do. Now watch this flying camel. No round shoulders here.
I see a real difference from when we saw her a few years ago. There's more command of the ice and more presence and more presentation to the audience. It's really improved.
Nice energy, too. Double axel. Final combination spin. A half sit spin.
That's a wonderful
Corkscrew position. Look at the speed here. Change foot in a pancake position. Good for you, Lucinda Ruh. Talk about a full spin, a back scratch. Oh, terrific. I just love her skating. I think she's wonderful. She has the ability, and you know this sport will not give her full credit as they would jumps. Those spins are just as difficult, just as important, more difficult, in fact, than jumps are. But they're not specified. So whatever you give them, whatever point schedule you give them points for that. But the judges don't. They include it as, quote, part of the base mark, end of quote. I'm talking too much because I'm excited about spins and I like them.
Catch your breath for a moment, Dick.
The audience agrees with you. They were standing up and enjoying her, too.
Well, in this sport, what the audience thinks is totally immaterial. Now, look here at how tight those circles are. You see, that's marvelous. That's called centered spinning. And it's like a top on a table. Once it begins to move, as we see it moving here, the spin goes slightly off. But remember, she's not doing a speed spin at that moment, so it's less important. Look at her back. Isn't that terrific? And look at the positions that she attains in this spin. First of all, sort of a three-quarter sit spin, a full sit spin, a pancake sit spin. I mean, it's almost like a bird settling on one leg. Look at here, the back spin that she gets. Now she does, and the dropped head. I mean, this is brilliant.
4-7.
We watched her for the last 4 or 5 years. It's amazing when you watch her spin in practice, in competitions, wherever you see her. Look at the required element marks.
Look at those marks. Now, I mean, they are not giving her. She should be getting 1,000% for the two spins, but she doesn't. And they up it. Her other jumps were okay, but there are a lot of skaters around that do lousy jumps, and then they get marked down.
Lucinda Ruh of Switzerland.
Seuraava luistelija, next. Jennifer Robinson, Canada.
Well, here's the national champion of Canada, 23-year-old Jennifer Robinson. Last competed at the Senior Worlds in '96. Getting a look in the ladies' short program at many of those skaters who are either up-and-comers or have been on the scene for a while and trying to get into the elite. Remember the top overall contenders on ABC Sports in the short tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time.
Jennifer's number was choreographed by Laurie Nickel, the choreographer of Michelle Kwan. Her triple Lutz double toe. A little shaky, but she did it. and intertwining with all of the jumps and the spins. It's wonderful to see.
From Ontario, Canada, has the same coach as Elvis Stoico. Doug Lee is her coach, same choreographer as Michelle Kwan. Lori Nickel handles those duties.
Very traditional program, very sensitively stated.
Very pleasant to watch. She was wonderful. She skated well. For Jennifer, that was a real strong performance for her.
The two-time national champion of Canada with plenty of support in the audience here. Jennifer Robinson, the 23-year-old.
And this was a wonderful example of blending that choreography into the difficult jumps. Here she's doing her triple Salchow. Instead of just doing crossovers, she did movements and turns into that very difficult jump.
Which is actually
did it very well.
Which is actually a requirement of the short program, that you must do footwork into one jump.
4-7, 5-3.
So Jennifer Robinson now awaiting her marks, and the first set of marks.
4-5 and 4-5.
There they are for required elements.
Presentation. 5-2, 5-0.
Okay, now the marks for presentation.
5-3, 5-2. 5-1, 5-2,
4.8 to 5.3. There's a hug from Doug Lee, her coach.
Thank you. Seuraava luistelija next to skate is Yulia Lavrenchuk, Ukraina, the Ukraine.
Taking the ice now, 20-year-old Yulia Lavrenchuk of Ukraine. She lives and trains in Kiev. Twice the national champion of Ukraine. And she finished 8th at the recent European Championships.
With the new haircut, she looks quite different from the way we've seen her in past competitions.
This is wonderful music. She's skating to Rockin' Gypsies Spanish medley by Willie and Lobo Orchestra. She is a very powerful skater and gathers incredible speed.
Unfortunately, she does it with this pumping up and down of her back. But the speed is there.
Oh.
And so is the jump.
A lot of lift in that triple Lutz double toe combination. Very strong beginning. You'll notice there's not a whole lot of choreography in this number. In between these jumps, there's a lot of just crossovers.
Up and down, sort of like an oil rig. And that's a very bad stylistic fall, but that was a wonderful jump, a wonderful triple. She gets good speed on this layback.
But she really does skate very fast. Final combination spin, a camel, a layback spin.
Good leg position.
And unusual arms, too. And a back sit, and an attitude, and a cross, back cross spin. kind of wandered away. I think she's proud of that performance. And she did all of her required elements. Skated very well.
And she did one of the perquisite moves now, pumping the air when they're sort of even 50% satisfied.
And I know you love that move on the ice, too.
You mean the pumping at the end?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it makes it look very much like sort of a football game or perhaps a basketball game. But look at the quality of this jump right there. She reaches back rather in a short way, but gets nice height on it and good revolution, and it's very clean and reliable and solid.
Well, he didn't pump his fist, but you remember when Rudy Galindo high-fived someone during his national championship performance.
But didn't he wait till he got off the ice to high-five somebody?
No, it was right during his performance at some point. Came pretty close to it.
5-3.
Now the marks for Yulia Lavrenchuk.
Presentation.
5.2 to 5.5 for required elements. And for presentation, 4.8 to 5.5 for Lavrenchuk of Ukraine.
5-2, 4-8, and 5-4. Thank you.
When we continue from Helsinki, the 17-year-old from Budapest. She finished 4th at the European Championships this year. Diána Póth skates next. And here is Diána Póth of Hungary. In fact, the reigning national champion of Hungary, only 17 years of age.
She's skating to black velvet. She's a natural jumper, but she has a bad habit of stretching her chin up when she goes into a jump. Watch her do this in this opening triple toe combination. See how she stretches her chin up? It works for her.
Oh, brother, was that sensational.
Triple sow cow.
That's a wonderful position. Yeah, hey, good for her.
Skated great and very thankful.
Thank heavens. Diána Póth, 17 years of age from Hungary. She is from Budapest, although she does spend the summers in Connecticut, living and training.
And this was her opening triple combination. Very difficult. Triple toe, but watch her chin, how she stretches that up. But she had good speed on the landing, going right up into the second triple. Very confident, real smooth, and wonderful jump.
3, 5, 4.
Diána Póth, who
5,
finished
5,
10th
5,
at Worlds last season.
5,
And the first set of marks, 4.9 to 5.6.
Presentation 5-5.
And for presentation, 5.1 to 5.6 for the 17-year-old from Budapest.
5-1 and 5-1.
Coming up next, Elena Liashenko, twice the national champion of Ukraine. The 22-year-old takes the ice when we return to Helsinki.
On the ice.
Here in the latest short program, it's Diána Póth of Hungary who is in the lead right now over Yulia Lavrenchuk of Ukraine and Lucinda Ruh of Switzerland. Here is Elena Liashenko, who is the reigning national champion of Ukraine. In fact, she has traded that title back and forth the last few years with Lavrenchuk.
She has a lot of confidence and strength in her skating, but not a whole lot of feeling in her presentation in her overall program. She is opening with a triple Lutz double toe. She really telegraphs her entrance into the jumps, a real long preparation. But nicely done, a little slow in between. How it stopped really quickly. She's had good speed throughout this short program. Good energy. Very nice.
Sure, just made that ending in time.
22 years of age from Kiev, Ukraine, Elena Liashenko will have her marks when we return to Helsinki in a moment.
5-1, 5-5.
Now the marks for Elena Liashenko of Ukraine.
5-3.
The first set for required elements, 5.1 to 5.5.
And 5-1.
And now the second set for presentation, 5.2 to 5.6. So Liashenko, the leader in terms of those that have skated here in the short program so far.
5-6, 5-4, 5-2, and 5-3. Thank you.
Here's the national champion of Italy, 22 years of age, Silvia Fontana. She finished 18th at Worlds a year ago, but she is skating very well this year. In fact, in the qualifying round, she was terrific.
Well, not only is she a stunning beauty and pursuing a doctorate in psychology, she's also very passionate on the ice.
Music fancy-free. Leonard Bernstein. She works with Evelyn Kramer at Lake Arrowhead, California.
intended to be a triple Lutz, double toe combination.
This is a layback. Not a good leg position.
Nice double axel.
You mentioned she lives and trains in Lake Arrowhead, California now, but she was raised in Rome, born in New York City.
That's a little bit of an international character. Footwork into a triple toe loop. That was very nice, very easy.
Stretches her moves and really relates to the audience and uses this choreography.
Final move, a combination spin, catch foot, good speed, bad leg, back sit. Shades of Rudy Galindo. Hey, nice.
She is so enjoyable to watch.
I think you enjoy watching her because you feel that she has fun skating and that she really enjoys what she's doing.
How much bigger could that smile be?
Oh, goodness. She's just so excited she can't stand it.
Fans from Italy, fans from America here to watch Silvia Fontana.
And here was her one mistake right at the beginning, was this triple Lutz. She's pulling back. She doesn't get the height to really finish all of these revolutions and really anticipated that landing, couldn't check out, and was awfully close to the boards, too.
Silvia Fontana now awaiting her marks. One of her fans from America, John Zimmerman, who we saw in the pairs competition earlier in our show. And they have been dating for quite some time now. Although he's on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast, so it's a long distance thing. Evelyn Kramer, her coach. First set of marks, 4.4 to 4.9. And now the second set for presentation, 4.8 to 5.4 for Silvia Fontana. And it puts her in 9th place overall.
5-3, 5-4, 5-0. Next to skate is Anna Rechnio, Puola, Poland.
Back in Helsinki as we continue with our coverage of the World Figures. Poland takes the ice. Remember, she was one of the big surprises a year ago at World. She finished 5th, but she was in 2nd place after the short program.
And she is suffering from a virus, and she's receiving IV vitamins and fluids, so this short program may take everything out of her. But she's a very strong skater. She is opening with a triple flip. Actually, it looks like a Lutz. Triple Lutz double toe combination.
And I think this is the triple flip. Oh, nice. Did you notice how she went up in the air first and then turned? Now that is good jumping. First the height, then the revolution. And look at the position here. Very strong spinning. Spiral combination. edges.
Well, she doesn't seem sick to me at all.
No. Trying to join that group that has a chance to win the gold medal. Realistically, remember many of the top contenders. You can see their short program Saturday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern Time over on ABC Sport.
Double axel. Again, that. Oh. And that, I think, is the last difficult move. That position could be improved. That's just not good enough for the way the rest of her skating is going, for the level of it.
She looks very strong. Good speed at the end of this number.
This is the circular footwork. Final move, a combination spin. First a camel, sit spin, lay back, back camel, catch foot.
Well, that was wonderful.
Well, the spin at the end, I think, sort of dragged her down a bit. It didn't really have great speed. It wasn't superb position. It was an okay spin. It was not up to some of the rest of her skating, where the quality, I think, was much superior. But, you know, I don't think the judges always recognize the fact and mark down for spins that are less than perfect.
3 times the national champion of Poland, Anna Rechnio.
And this was her opening jump, the triple Lutz double toe combination. She had wonderful spring in the air. Good turning, real clean, right into the double toe.
That was a little double footing there.
You think?
Yes, yes. Absolutely.
Well, maybe we'll have to play that again. That was her triple flip that she's doing right now. Very clean, good strong landing.
Presentation 5-3, 5-6, 5-5.
5.1 to 5.6.
You see, those are very creditable marks.
5-8.
I mean, you know, I think they've recognized the fact that she's a very powerful skater.
And she is in the lead. Welcome back to Helsinki, Finland, everyone, in our coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. The ladies on the ice warming up for their short program. Here are the 8 required elements. Obviously, a failure to complete any one of these elements and points are deducted. It lasts 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and it's worth 30% of the overall score. Among those in this group, 13-year-old Sarah Hughes from Great Neck, New York. Normally, she would be too young to compete here at Worlds, but she captured a silver medal at the Junior World Championships 3 months ago. And as Leslie Visser tells us, for this young lady, barely out of childhood, that silver earned her the honor of representing her country.
It sounds so sweet being only 13, but Sarah Hughes is not like most 13-year-olds.
I always bring my pillow when I go away with me. And I have my good luck pajamas, actually. And I always wear my good luck pajamas the night before I compete. And they do get washed.
Sarah began competing at a young age, just like her 5 brothers and sisters. Her father, John, had captained the 1970 Cornell University hockey team to the NCAA title and passed his love of skating on to his family.
She must have been about 3 1/2, and her 2 older brothers were in little hockey classes with hockey skating. And she said, I want to do that. And I said, you can't do that, you're too young. And she had a temper tantrum. She said, I want to do it. I want to do it. I said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll rent you skates, and we'll see how you like it.
10 years later, she won the junior national title and placed 2nd at Junior Worlds. But her parents always made sure that skating did not disrupt their family life or Sarah's childhood. No moving away from home or being schooled by tutors.
I don't think I miss out on anything because if I want to go see a movie, no one's stopping me. If I want to go to the mall, no one's stopping me. I think that I skate because I love to skate, and I don't give anything up to skate.
It was that love of skating that kept her going when 2 years ago, tragedy struck. Sarah's mother, Amy, was diagnosed with breast cancer. Sarah was only 11 when her mom started weekly trips to the hospital for chemotherapy.
I really wasn't around for her for a good 6 months, 7 months. And you know what? She grew up a lot in those 6 or 7 months.
Mother and daughter learned that Sarah's skating was more important than they'd ever realized for both of them.
Skating definitely helped me through it because I just forget about everything and all my worries and all my problems and my mother's sickness. It would just let me go in sort of another world.
It was the same for her mother when she made it to one of Sarah's competitions.
I had a really bad reaction to the chemo. I really was sick. They sat me down in the stands and I watched her skate. I didn't feel sick. It was a miracle.
Back outside takeoff. Oh, nice. Beautifully done.
Last month at the National Championships, Sarah Hughes skated to a 4th place finish and a spot on the world team. As Amy Hughes looked on, her cancer in remission, it was a moment of particular poignancy, a moment of triumph for mother and daughter.
Seuraavana on the ice, Sarah Hughes, Yhdysvallat, the United States.
The product of a strong, talented family, and she has certainly kept everything in perspective to this point in her life. 13 years of age, Sarah Hughes from Great Neck, New York, takes the ice. She skated very well in qualifying. She was 4th in her group, and of course, with the new format, that counts for 20% of the overall score now.
And she is such a refreshing 13-year-old. Dick and I spoke to Sarah right after the qualifying, and all she could talk about was how beautiful all the skaters were. This is going to be quite an experience for her. Nice opening double axel. Took her time. Very happy about landing that.
The very interesting difference between this performance and the one that she had at the National Championships just a short while ago. Already her back positions have improved. Combination, one of the 8 requirements, the design of which is the skater's own. Again, a very difficult footwork into a triple flip jump.
Nice. And one of the more difficult triples to do in a short program, so that'll give her added points because of that difficulty.
Combination spin, lovely layback position. That's nice. Catch foot back spin. Very accomplished. I must say she's skating with more flair and security than I suspected was possible in such a short time.
Well, you can see that she is paying attention to her hand movements and her choreography in this program. And her final spin, this layback, beautiful position. Nice turnout in the leg, beautiful arms. Wonderful.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. And you know, there was a wonderful trick that she did at the end of that. She sat in the position of the layback.
Her father, John, in attendance here in Helsinki.
When she sat in that position, she didn't change it, and therefore you looked at it with greater and greater enthusiasm. It held your attention. It's a wonderful, wonderful element to keep going.
Okay, and here is a look at the footwork going into her triple flip jump. And here is her preparation here as she reaches back. Right there, taps in, good spring to this jump. Nice, solidly done, good landing, good position.
Well, as far as she has come and the way she has handled herself this week here in Helsinki, you forget she's not much older than the flower girls who picked up the teddy bears out the ice.
But look at these marks. What apparently is the Austrian judge has given a 4-4, and the I can't see the third judge at 4-7. The rest 5-3s, 5-4s.
For presentation, those good enough to put her in third place in terms of the skaters in the short program. Look at the smile on her face from Robin Wagner.
But the most important.
Look at her dad, Peggy.
He's already telling Grandma at home.
He's proud.
The quickest phone call after marks in history. Up next, the bronze medalist from the 97 World Championships, 20 years of age, Vanessa Gusmeroli of France. Well, Hartwell Arena, a modern facility with better than 13,000 seats, and I know who has the best one right now. Let's join Leslie Visser.
Terry, like most athletic venues, Hartwell Arena has a souvenir shop, a cafe, a cash machine, and a sauna. There are 1.4 million saunas in Finland, and one of them is available during sporting events. It's part of the traditional Finnish experience, and people don't think it's strange to be slapping each other with birch branches during intermission.
This is so extraordinary and original. This can be done only in Finland. You can watch figure skating world championships and sit in a sauna with a bottle of beer.
Finns consider the sauna spiritual as well as cleansing and say it adds to their enjoyment of the event. Terry, I think you ought to come over here on your next break.
Well, Leslie, I would, but I didn't bring my towel with me today, so I guess I'll check with you next time. Well, taking the ice right now, Vanessa Gusmeroli of France, 20 years of age. She finished 5th at the European Championships this year and 2nd in her qualifying group here in Helsinki.
And she's skating to St. James Infirmary Blues by Irving Mills.
And she has struggled with inconsistency over the years, but she had a great skate in the qualifying here.
This will give you a clue as to her athletic ability. Good athlete, but not really controlled in these jumps, and that has been part of her problem. She gets near the top, but hasn't yet made it into the big leagues.
I like this position. It's very unusual. Nice variation on the spiral.
Now again, this next move requires step movements into the jump, and that's what we're seeing right now as she turns and then steps into that triple loop jump.
Peggy, you mentioned consistency has been her problem. 16th a year ago at Worlds, but in 97, she won the bronze medal at the World Championships.
And tonight she's skating very well, too. She's gotten all the difficult things out of the way.
That's a nice combination spin. Well, there was a back inside edge on that landing that was a little bit rough. It should be on a pure outside edge. That breaks the flow of the jump.
She's a very versatile athlete. She was a national water skiing champion, and she's also an avid snowboarder. Good for her.
So she's good on water, whether it's frozen ice, snow, or the real stuff. Second in her group in the qualifying round, and a big smile on her face after her effort here in the short program. Vanessa Gusmeroli.
Now, look at this very first move of her program, the Lutz. Watch her reach back, go into the air, land with a very tentative position, and that sort of foreshortens the second jump, the double toe loop. But this combination spin was a much better effort. She has a nice catch foot position, then another catch foot position a la Denise Bielman.
And now her marks. The first set 5.4 to 5.6 for required elements. Remember, there are 8 required elements here in the short program, and for presentation, 5.4 to 5.8 for 20-year-old Vanessa Gusmeroli of France.
I think that those are very generous marks.
When we return to Helsinki, Maria Butyrskaya, the 6-time Russian national champion at the peak of her career. She skates next.
To skate is Maria Butyrskaya, Venäjä, Russia.
Welcome back to Helsinki and our coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. The ladies' short program underway, and here is the 2-time and reigning European champion, 26-year-old Maria Butyrskaya, perhaps the stiffest threat to Michelle Kwan's attempt to win her 3rd World Championship.
Well, she looks beautiful and mature on the ice, but there's a coldness about her presentation, and that, combined with her history of nerves, is what has held her back in the past. And she is opening with a triple Lutz, double toe combination. Nice.
Right there you can see exactly what the problems of her athletic ability are. She has a rather stiff-kneed landing, and it kind of is almost like a stalky kind of quality. She lands on a back inside edge. It's not a smooth, graceful, soft landing. Triple loop, but that was neat and very clean.
Wonderful extension on this.
That first position really was quite first rate.
Maria, up until her loss a few weeks ago at the Grand Prix final, was enjoying the best season and a half in her career. 2 other Grand Prix wins.
You see the ice on the ice, that mark, the way it curved from an inside to an outside edge.
Well, she has most of the difficult elements out of the way now. I think she wants to show that her mature interpretation sets her apart from all the younger field of skaters.
This next element, a spiral sequence. Remember how she does it, and then compare it with Michelle Kwan's later. Not the best of positions.
Oh, she can be very proud of herself. She skated very well.
She made no mistakes, no major errors. And of course, that's the purpose of the short program. It's there to demonstrate your ability to do 8 elements. And woe be to the skater that misses any one of them.
A much better effort for Maria Butyrskaya than she had in the qualifying round. She's told us throughout the year she believes she can win a world title.
And here is her opening triple Lutz double toe. She went in very cautiously, not a whole lot of spring, and a little problem on the landing, a little shaky, not a whole lot of speed. And this was her beautiful triple loop, taking off from that back outside edge. It just was floating up in the air, came down very solid, very pretty jump.
The first set of marks now for Maria Butyrskaya, 5.6 to 5.8 for required elements. The six-time Russian national champion trying to win her first world title. Not many thought she had a chance, but she told us all year she thought she could beat Michelle Kwan, 5'8", 5'9", and she is in first place right now. When we continue here in Helsinki, the 17-year-old from Russia, Yulia Soldatova, who won the silver medal at this year's Europeans. She'll skate after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Seuraava luistelija on next to skate is Yulia Soldatova, Venäjä, Russia.
Here is one of the young skaters from Russia that we have seen throughout this season. Yulia Soldatova, 17 years of age and a junior world champion in 1998. She finished second at the European title and third in her qualifying group.
And she has a very appealing quality. She really plays to the crowd in a very soft way.
Remember that qualifying round now worth 20% of the overall score, part of the new format this year.
Has good speed at this point going into this triple Lutz double toe loop combination. Now here come the step movements into a triple flip.
I love her landing position. It's real strong, very much in control. Good stretch.
There's a 17-year-old quality about her. Energy. Brightness.
Layback, but the position could be a little better. Spin.
Now she has good fast turns, but not very good positions. But one thing she demonstrated very well was a good athletic ability. This young lady is a fine athlete.
Yulia Soldatova of Russia, one of the young skaters who beat out Elena Liashenko for a spot on the Russian world team here.
And here is her triple flip jump, one of the more difficult triples. She had good spring, good solid landing, good stretch and control.
Required elements. 5'7", 5'7", 5'7".
Yulia alongside
5'6",
her coach, Elena Liashenko, appropriately dressed, I guess, for this part of the world. The first set of marks now, required elements, 5.5 to 5.7, Dick.
And those were very nice marks and very good skating.
And now the second set for presentation, and those marks place her right behind Maria Butyrskaya. She's in second place.
And I think they're a little bit lower because she is still only 17.
When we come back to Helsinki, the two-time and reigning world champion, Michelle Kwan, takes the ice. Two-time champion Michelle Kwan preparing to step on the ice in a moment. In this sport these days, there's very little off-season. It's not often that Michelle has a chance to reflect on what her success and her skating really means to her. She spent one of those rare moments with us, and here is Michelle Kwan in another light.
There are times when I'm in a bad mood. I put my skates on, I get out onto the ice, and suddenly I become happy. All my fears, all my sadness, everything is out of me. And when I hear the music, it just takes me. I feel like I'm the instrument. The music is coming from within, and it's coming right through me, and my heart is in the palm of my hands, and I'm giving it to the audience and sharing all the emotions that I have inside. There are times when I feel like the audience is with me. I make a mistake and I can hear them going, oh, and that's what I'm saying to myself when I'm skating and I fall and I go, oh. There are also times when I can hear them getting louder and louder until there's no music. And they're still clapping. I feel like, why is this ending? Why has it come to an end? I wish it would last forever. It feels like you're flying. You feel free, you have room, you have so much space to work with. It's like saying to an artist, okay, you have this much paper to work on. You're limited. But when I'm skating, I feel like I have the whole ice as a canvas and something I can work with and something I can just do whatever I want. And I like that freedom.
Seuraava luistelija on next to skate is Michelle Kwan, Yhdysvallat, the United States.
Somehow Michelle Kwan has been able to motivate herself time and again, even when there's no one else to do it with her. And her mother, Estella, one of the rare moments when you'll see her sitting there watching her in the arena. Here is Michelle's short program.
Well, this kind of pressure is nothing new for Michelle. She is the standard for skating today. Her opening jump is the triple Lutz double toe.
Ooh. And she was doing that in practice where she leaned back on the landing. Almost out of control, but not. Therefore, everything is just fine. Double axel. Oh, did you see the entrance edge? Again, that is the signal.
Well, she was having trouble on the warm-up on that double axel.
Well, that double axel is the most treacherous jump of any. A forward outside edge can throw you in any position at any time.
Coming up, her triple toe. Nicely done.
That's back to her old self.
makes this move look so easy from an inside edge, changing over to the outside edge.
But what makes it special is the height and steadiness of the free leg, along with the arch of the back.
And her final move, a butterfly back sit. Tough performance, but she's still so wonderful. I mean, the overall package of the choreography and her passion for the sport is still coming through.
But I think what's happened is that everybody here is a little bit aghast at the fact that she's made 2 mistakes within this program. Listen, even with the mistakes, it's better than anybody else's.
Smile on the face of her mother, Estella, but this audience, when the program ended, there was a moment when you didn't know what to do.
But look at this now, the triple Lutz. Now watch her tap. Already you can see her leaning forward, and she comes over. Her back is too far back, and she has to struggle to be able to complete that combination. But on the double axel, watch here now. This forward outside edge right there. Watch the skate. Do you see how it goes far to the left, and she is leaning out of the circle to the right and falls.
Required elements, 5-4, 5-3.
Frank Carroll told us earlier today that Michelle was feeling much better, but not 100%. The first set of marks, Dick.
They have a required deduction for a fall of 4/10 of a point. So you start with the base mark and then take off 4/10 of a point. But these marks here are very good. They show, except for Austria, they show very high marks for her presentation.
Shockingly, Michelle Kwan is in 4th place. Oh, that's the moment.
Oh.
As we look at the current standings, Michelle Kwan has to win the free skate and have Maria Butyrskaya finish 3rd or lower there in order to have a chance at the gold medal. Sarah Hughes of the U.S. in 9th place right now. Well, a disappointing afternoon from Michelle Kwan, obviously, and graciously, she has joined Leslie Visser backstage. Leslie?
Terry, an uncharacteristic performance from Michelle Kwan. Michelle, can you talk about the shaky start?
Well, I started out with the triple Lutz, which was, I couldn't believe I landed it. And then I go into the double axel, which I don't usually miss. And then I took off a little weird and tried to pull in still and couldn't hold the landing.
Well, you sound a little congested. I know you haven't been feeling well. Did your health matter? Was that significant?
No, not really. I've been taking my medication and I've been feeling okay. Today, out there, I felt a little too strong maybe. I rested a lot and, things like this happen sometimes.
Sure. What do you do now sort of to bring the focus back, make sure the next performance goes well?
Well, I guess you just have to refocus, leave this behind me, and then just focus on the long program.
2-time world champion, we think you know what to do. Thank you very much, Michelle. Back to you, Terry.
All right, Leslie, thank you. So Michelle Kwan in a position that no one thought she would be in 4th place heading into the free skate. She'll have to draw on all of her abilities to make a comeback.